drive. So what I did was, in our data center, we have servers that are managed by HP and IBM and another third-party vendor. I can't remember the name. But these servers have maintenance on them. They cost the company on average about $1,200 to $1,500 a month for maintenance. Sometimes it's outdated servers that we don't need. They're antiquated. So I manage the vendor relationship between Shell, HP, IBM, and the third-party contract as it related to vendor services. So what I did was end up decommissioning over 500 different servers that summer and saved a little over $200,000 because we're doing maintenance on servers that were no longer online. We didn't need them. So it wasn't super technical, but the second summer I got a little more technical where I went out to the data center in Clear Lake at the time and actually built out servers, put servers on the network that were needed for different applications in IT and in the business. I've been helping out with graduate recruiting since I was my last semester here. So I'm the College of Business liaison for Craig. So I get about 5 or 6 interns that I help out throughout the summer with mentoring, helping with their projects, talking to their managers, getting feedback on how they use Shell. There's a kickoff event where all the interns throughout the U.S., not the world, U.S. come back, and they get a chance to meet one another. We have guest speakers that come in, and you really get to see the face of Shell for the first time. We have different volunteer opportunities. Habitat for Humanity, Houston Food Bank. So we make sure our interns are active. That's to create the networking piece. And I'll get to why networking at Shell is very important. And most importantly, second to last bullet is delivering results. You can have the 4.0, you can be president of whatever club, fraternity, or sorority, but if you don't deliver the results, the chance of you coming back are slim to none. We look for interns who are going to be ambitious, who go beyond just the job description. Can you take something that's rather ambiguous, analyze it, and spit out a result or more? And most times you're usually working on more than one project. You'll have a main project, and your goal is to accept and look for other small projects in and outside of your group. So this is a networking piece. You go and talk to other people. If you don't have anything to do, you go find work. That's the name of the game. There's always going to be challenges. How do you manage those? How do you deal with budget constraints? How do you deal with deadlines? These are very key. The most important part of this cyclical thought process is recommendations. Once a project may not always be successful in your results phase. That's fine. But what were the recommendations is very key during the interview with Shell. What would you have done differently as part of a recommendation? What suggestions could you make for yourself or members of your team to make the project run smoother next time? Pretty much what did you learn, right? So this is the process of how Shell works. Part of the Shell interview is also asking an off-the-cuff question, a question that really challenges your mind, whether you think locally or whether you think globally. Shell's a global company. Chances are I've been overseas to work. First year I was there, I've been to London to work for 3 weeks on a project. How well can you work overseas? How well can you see the globe, the world? So a question I got, I'm going to ask you guys to respond was, it said, Dayton, it was a phone interview. It said, so I'm going to say a word, and I want you to throw out ideas of what comes to mind when you hear this word. The word was tourism. Caught me up. I'm looking through papers. I don't have everything out. So, any volunteers, when you hear the word tourism, what comes to mind?
Out of the country?
Say it again.
Out of the country? Keep going. Basically, you going somewhere else.
You're on the surface. Keep digging. What else comes to mind? Think about who you're working for. Shell's a global company focused on energy. When you hear tourism, what can come to mind? Yes, ma'am.
Maybe appealing to that market.
What market?
Well, you're in a different country. I mean, Shell was global, so maybe you want to appeal more to that market, right?
Does it have to be internal? I mean, international. What if somebody from another country is thinking about the U.S.?
What do you mean?
If I'm in Italy and I'm thinking about the U.S.,
I mean,
that's still tourism, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
Right.
I think about transportation.
Transportation. What else?
Money.
Money. More money.
As in spending money, you really Shell earning more money from tourism.
So we're talking about capital. Right. Okay. What else?
Different currency.
Okay.
Trade.
Now we're getting more. Keep going.
Oh, but how you gonna manage your money from different currency?
Different currency rates, so foreign exchange rates, forex, right? What else? The goal in this is to see, if I say tourism, you start talking about Waller County, Or do you start talking about international markets, international trade, foreign currency? You start talking about global policy, energy policy, issues going on with Egypt, with countries that have a heavy influence in oil. So that's what we're trying to see through these questions is, if I throw something random at you, and random can come at work, and it does, how do you respond? So we want to see where your mind is. Is it local or is it global? It's a tricky question, but it's a question that Shell asks quite a bit. So now we'll do a little practice, real quick. How much time do I have, Dr. McDaniel?
A fair amount of time, about 15 minutes.
Sounds good. So, we're going to go through a behavioral style interview. Who wants to be a volunteer? Any volunteers? Huh? You go first? That's cool. We're going to do $25 gas card. G. I might have someone, I might not, who knows? So we'll go through a behavioral style interview. Your name? Imani Jones. What's your major? Business management. All right, sounds good. It's on your resume, I saw it. All right, so Ms. Imani Jones, give me a time on a project. Right? Give me a time on a project where you had challenges or disagreements in the group, and how did you overcome them?
Well, one time.
Can you stand up, please? Can you stand
Oh, I
up?
have to stand up?
Yeah, please.
Here's a hint. That's not it, Mike. Here's a hint. When you're giving feedback, it's better to say more without rambling, and it's best not to lie. If you're good at making up stuff, roll with it. You know, but we're pretty good at figuring that out. Give real life examples that would apply to this job. It was an unnamed student. We had an interview, and I asked him, I said, give me a problem, give me a challenge you had. And he talked about an argument he had with his girlfriend. Fair, right? But kind of didn't apply to what we were looking for. So we're looking for how well you can apply situations at school or through another internship. How can you apply that to what we're doing here? So that's the background, action. So I'll repeat the question. Give me a time where you had disagreements or challenges on a project, and how did you overcome them? What did you?
Okay, well, one time in my introduction to business class, I had a group, it was a group project, and a lot of the students in my group, okay, they didn't really, work as a team. And so I was doing most of the work for my team. So as I confronted the group and I told them, y'all need to work more. And of course some people didn't listen. So then that's when I went to my professor and I told him what was going on. Like, am I gonna get an extra grade or working harder? What was the problem? And so basically he had a talk with all of us and we all had our equal share of work and we got it resolved.
You guys in here have had internships before? Anybody in here? Okay. You had a co-op? Okay. This man in the blue shirt, your name? Okay. Abria, question. Where'd you intern?
At 3M.
3M, okay. Nice. So what was your, get the mic. What was your internship and what were you responsible for delivering?
Okay, so the finance internship. I was a finance intern this past summer for 3M, and I was responsible for a number of projects. One being coming up with a financial estimating process. They have a rolling I believe a lot of companies, they have a rolling estimate process, and the process that they had established already was pretty outdated and manual, so I came up with a fairly automated way to come up with financial estimates, as well as another dealing with factory cost reconciliation. So a company-wide way to do the factory cost recon, and another dealing with, well, it was pretty much a project that I came up with on my own, a way to, implementation of a new system in the company that nobody else really knew about. So I put that in place to actually help with the financial estimates too.
So, question. So when you're dealing with finance, you're actually talking about the bottom line is money. So what what were the monetary impacts of what you did in your project? How did it help the bottom line? You took something that was automated, right? Automation calls for man hours times hour per rate equals a cost, right? So how did you save the company money? This might help you come on and answer.
An actual number I cannot say, but
a ballpark number, average. You can even make one up.
Possibly.
I'm just trying to see what the impact, what was the bottom line? Why was your project important?
I would say 2 million, but that's really just saying a number because it was not just for that location, because I work in the Minnesota location. It was a company-wide, so it affected the global industry, that affected the 6 different businesses that they have. So it was, since it was a company-wide project that I worked on, it saved a lot of time that they could use to delegate responsibilities for another project.
Good answer, good answer. So yeah, what that does, if you implement something that's a global or enterprise type project, you're saving the company money. Their number one goal is to make money, right?
Right.
You can increase that bottom line because their dedication and loyalty is to the shareholder. And you did a great job, so good job. Use V-Power.